Welcome, welcome, welcome. And today we're talking about the Powerhouse Three: self-talk, affirmations, and visualization. So, how we talk to ourselves positively is extremely important. According to the National Science Foundation, our brains produce as many as 70,000 thoughts per day. And a huge part of these thoughts are inner thoughts. We talk to ourselves most of the time, and our self talks have become one of the main factors that influence our mindset, our actions, and ultimately the results we get in our life. Self talk, or your inner dialogue, is important because you provide opinions and evaluations on what you're doing as you're doing it. Imagine when you are watching football and the announcers are commentating on the game. Your self talk is just like the sports announcer who is commentating on the player or the team's performance. The only difference is that for sports commentary, the players or the athletes cannot hear it, but you can actually hear what you tell yourself all the time. When your alarm fires off in the morning, you start talking to yourself. 7 a.m., time to get up. We are constantly talking to ourselves as long as we are awake. What you tell yourself can greatly impact your life. This is because your thoughts can influence your mood and how you make decisions. Your self-talk affects you because self-talk is something you do naturally throughout your waking hours, and it depends on how you talk to yourself. If you constantly talk to yourself in a negative way, you may end up living a negative life. On the other hand, if you talk to yourself positively, you will look at things from a brighter side, and as a result, you may end up living a better life. Consider these two inner statements you tell yourself. I'm going to share my opinion in this class later because I have something important to contribute that can benefit the whole class and school. Or the second one, I don't want to speak up in this class because if I say it wrong, others will think I'm a fool. The first statement sounds positive, and you may share your thoughts during the meeting. As the second statement, it sounds more negative and it prevents you from sharing your opinion in the class, which is really important that we share and we get our characteristic of our opinions out. As you can see, this is how your self-talk can affect your life. More importantly, it is how you choose to talk to yourself that matters. When you tell yourself positive words like, I can do this, it's highly likely you're going to take action and do it. On the contrary, if you tell yourself, this is difficult and I don't think it's possible, guess what? Highly likely you're not going to take any action. So listen, how you talk to yourself does matter. Positive self-talk is important and it can greatly impact and affect your life. The question is, how can we learn to talk to ourselves in a more positive way? How can we manage our self-talk so that we are able to inject positive energy in life and live a better life? Well, I have the answer, and here's how. Your actions are inspired by your thoughts. When you change how you talk to yourself, you can change your action. Here are a few tips you consider when it comes to changing your inner thoughts and making positive talk work for you. 1, be conscious of how you talk to yourself. The first thing you need to do is be conscious of how you talk to yourself. Just take note of your self-talk. We can't fix what we don't know is broken. You can only fix something when you know it is broken. You can also record your self-talk by writing down your thoughts in a journal. Set a notification to ping on every hour or two to write down what you think at the moment. The key is to notice the pattern of how you talk to yourself. And when you notice that you're talking to yourself in a negative way, it's time to change it. Number 2, keep an eye out on your moods, your feelings, and your emotions. This is another good indicator on how to talk to yourself, how you talk to yourself. You need to take note of the moods, feelings, and emotions. This is because the way we talk to yourself can directly influence our feelings. You feel angry when you tell yourself, that guy is annoying me. He's just so frustrating how he talks and talks and talks and talks and talks. You can feel inferior when you tell yourself, I know that I'm not good enough. I failed again. As you can see, your self-talk determines your mood. So whenever you're feeling sad, inferior, angry, or any negative emotions, notice what you're talking to yourself about, and then change it. Number 3 is replace the negative self-talk. Yes, to make yourself feel positive, all you need to do is replace the negative thoughts with positive ones. So instead of saying, I can't do this, say, maybe I can just try. Rather than telling yourself, I'm tired and sleepy, maybe I should do this tomorrow, tell yourself, what is one small thing I can do for just 5 minutes? Another really effective way to stop your negative self-talk is to use the word stop. Whenever you discover that you're talking negatively to yourself, just shout in your head as loud as you can, stop. Do something that will disturb your negative thought pattern and immediately break the loop. The more you dwell in the negative cycle, the more negative you will be. So when you are starting to say a sentence like, I'm not good enough, you say stop in the middle of it. As soon as you notice that it's turning into a negative, you say stop. So I'm not, stop. I am good enough. I can do this. You replace it with a positive. Number 4, constantly programming positive thoughts into your mind. If you want to make positive self-talk part of your daily routine, what you can do is to constantly program good thoughts into your mind. For instance, read books, read personal development books, read success stories of how people went from rock bottom to living a successful life. These inspirational stories will motivate you and change the way that you think. When you insert more files or thought references into your mind, you can refer to them whenever you need to. For example, when you feel like a failure, you can instantly remind yourself of how successful people go through failures after failures, but still manage to keep it and make it. This is why reading is important, especially if you read materials that inspire you. The more you inject or feed your mind with positive materials, the more positive you will become. Number 5 is practice affirmations. Affirmation is powerful. It is a form of inner self-talk that you can use to alter your thinking that will eventually give you an impact, will positively impact your life. For instance, if you're telling yourself, I'm a successful cricketer and I play for the Black Caps and generate 6 figures a year, eventually it will come true. When you tell yourself something, when you tell something to yourself on a daily basis, and when you fully believe it, you will bring it into your life. The way you act and the way you live will change. Such as the power of positive affirmations. And we're going to dive a little bit more deeper into that in a minute. Number 6 is mix with positive people. You become who you mix with most of the time. The people you talk to most of the time can influence your thoughts. This is because the conversation you're involved with can determine your thinking. If you want to become an eagle and soar the skies, stop mixing yourself with turkeys. How incredible is that? If you want to become an eagle and soar, Stop mixing yourself with the turkeys. Think about it. When you are always mixed with a group of people who are mean, rude, not nice, bad influences, what will you do? Most likely you're going to start being like them, mean, rude, not nice, and be a bad influence because you want to fit in. And hence, when you mix with positive, friendly, kind people, what do? Be positive, friendly, and kind. Therefore, who you mix with will affect your thinking and ultimately change your life. So mix with positive people if you want to think positively and change how you talk to yourself. And lastly, affirmations. We're moving on to affirmations. Sorry, not lastly. And now we're going to talk about the second part of the Powerhouse Three, affirmations. Affirmations is a practice of positive thinking and self-empowerment, fostering a belief that a positive mental attitude supported by affirmations will achieve success in anything. More specifically, an affirmation is a carefully formulated statement that can be repeated to oneself and written down frequently. For affirmations to be effective, they need to be present tense, positive, personal, and specific. So examples like, I am always kind. I am an amazing human. I take care of myself. I am confident. These are wonderful affirmations to have. When you think about your fears, doubts, and worries, realize quickly when you look over them, if you write a list down or if you're just thinking about them, if you look over them, you will find that they have no foundation. You've created them in your own imagination. Therefore, you can eliminate them. The worst that can happen is never very bad, yet the best that can happen is incredible. So I want you to change those fears, doubts, and worries into affirmations so that you're saying it on a daily basis and you're moving towards and changing that mindset. The third part of the Powerhouse Three is visualization. I can't even explain how powerful the Powerhouse Three are. Each of them are powerful in themselves, but combined together, they are a force to reckon with. They will change your life immediately if you start implementing them into your life. So the idea of visualizing your goals is that you see your goal and you're more likely to achieve it. By having the ability to visualize your goals, you do a few important things. It teaches your brain to recognize what resources it will need to help you succeed in reaching your goals. It creates an inner motivation to strive for your goals and dreams. And it promotes positive thinking, which will help you to stay on track to be successful in the long run. Athletes use visualization all the time to better their performance. Arguably the greatest golfer in the world, Jack Nicklaus, once said, I never hit a shot, not even in practice, without having a very sharp, in focus picture of it in my head. It's like a color movie. First, I see where I want it to finish, nice and white and sitting high on and bright on the green. Then the scene quickly changes and I see the ball going there, its path, the way it's getting there, the shape, even its behavior on landing. Then there's a sort of fade out and the next scene shows me making the kind of swing that will turn the previous images into reality. How incredible. So every shot that he does, he visualizes before he hits that ball. There's also an incredible scientific study that was done with a university in America where they got a group of basketball athletes together and they wanted to improve their free throw shots at basketball. So they divided the group into 3 groups. Group 1, they physically took practice free throw shots during the day. Group 2, they only visualized making shots every day. Group 3, they physically took practice free throw shots during the day, and before going to bed, they visualized making perfect shots. The results of the study are absolutely incredible. Group 1, who only practiced taking free throw shots, improved their free throw shooting by 7%. So that's a really good improvement. And that's what you sort of expect when you're practicing. You expect improvement. Group 2, who only visualized making free throw shots, improved their free throw shooting by 10%. So they didn't even pick up a ball, didn't even pick up a basketball, and they improved by 10%. That's powerful. That's the sign of how incredible visualization is. Group 3, who practiced taking the free throws and visualized making free throws, improved their free throw shot by, drum roll, 32%. Yes, you did hear that correctly. 32%. How incredible is that? That shows you just how incredible and moving and empowering and where you can get with visualizing and putting things into action. So when you visualize doing things, your body is creating pathways and memories on how to do that action, even though you never actually perform the action. And the more times you visualize it, the better you get at it, perfecting not only the mental aspect of the task, but also the physical aspect. So combining doing the action and visualizing it, wow. When you're visualizing, you need to focus on your senses. Touch, smell, taste, hear, see. Feel the warmth of the sun on you, the softness of the sand between your toes. Smell the ocean in the air, hear a crowd, see the color of the ball in your hands. Whatever you're visualizing, see if you can get all your senses going. The more senses you can get going, the better the visualization, the better it's coming towards you. There's a few things you need to remember though. Limit distractions. When you visualize, you cannot have any distractions. So turn off your cell phone, go into a room where you won't be disturbed. It should be in a quiet space for you to focus 100%. Especially important when you're first starting out, since you need to practice to get better. Don't give up. You won't be an expert at the start. It's like anything when you're learning new things. You need to practice till you get better. So don't give up. At the end of the day, if you want to be successful, making it a habit to visualize success is critical. You must be able to see yourself on the screen of your mind, already in the possession of the goal, and you must seriously want it. Remember, the picture that you hold in your mind most often will eventually be expressed in physical form. So when you're practicing visualization, take a deep breath to start. Deliberately picture your desire using your imagination. Carefully examine your picture to make sure it's exactly what you want. Deliberately picture your desire using your imagination. Carefully examine your picture to make sure it's exactly what you want. Use your will to hold the picture on the screen of your mind. And that's it. Easy. If you train yourself to do these 3 things every day, you will soon find that your thoughts in your conscious mind and desires, your feelings, proceed in a more orderly procession than ever before. This puts you in a creative state where you move forward towards what you want without fear, doubt, and worry. And that is the Powerhouse 3. You got these 3 things going for you, you will see incredible changes in your life. Self-talk, affirmations, and visualization. What I call easily the Powerhouse Three. Have a nice day.